Imagine opening YouTube and coming across a channel called Jesus Official. Millions of subscribers, exploding comment sections, live streams breaking audience records. But what exactly would he post? Sermons, reactions, explanations about the end times, or perhaps something even more impactful? Today we're going to explore what it would be like if Jesus had a YouTube channel in today's world. Would he become the greatest influencer in history? What would followers of other religions say? In what language would Jesus record his videos? Stay with us until the end, because today we're going to dive into what if Jesus had a YouTube channel. Before we continue, we want to make something very clear. This video is not intended to satirize, ridicule, or distort the image of Jesus Christ. On the contrary, our main goal here at the Bible Lab is to use creativity to spark a reflection on how biblical teachings apply to the modern world. If Jesus were physically present today, how would he communicate with people? If in the past, he taught through parables, would he now use videos to share messages of hope? If he spoke in public squares and synagogues, would he now also speak to millions through the internet? Whether you are a Christian, curious about the Bible, or just someone interested in life's big questions, we invite you to watch until the end and draw your own conclusions. And if you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe to our channel and check out more videos like this. Now, let's get started. First, we need to imagine what Jesus' channel would be like. The name? Maybe something simple like Jesus Official or Words of Life. But the most interesting thing would be the number of subscribers. Would he have more followers than Mr. Beast or PewDiePie? Hard to say. But one thing is certain, his channel would grow explosively. After all, think about it. There are over 2 billion Christians in the world. If even a fraction of them subscribed, Jesus would quickly dominate YouTube. But now, let's get to the point. The content. What kind of videos would Jesus post? Well, we can imagine some categories that would be a huge success. Teachings, miracles, challenges, biblical explanations, Q&A sessions, short clips, and even podcasts. Let's start with the main one, which would undoubtedly be teaching videos. There would be plenty of teaching videos. After all, Jesus has been doing this for over 2,000 years. But instead of speaking to crowds in open spaces, he might be in front of a microphone, with well-positioned lights and a 4K camera, broadcasting his words to millions worldwide. And yes, Jesus would definitely care about the quality of his videos. If 2,000 years ago, he carefully chose where and how to speak to ensure his message was heard clearly today, in the digital world, it wouldn't be any different. Imagine watching a video of Jesus with blown-out audio, background noise, and amateur editing. That would definitely not match someone who always made sure to deliver his message flawlessly. After all, when he spoke, the crowd stopped to listen. His words carried power, and even his enemies fell silent before his teachings. On YouTube, he would ensure that each video had clear audio, a well-planned setting, and an engaging narrative. No crackling microphones or muffled sound. Every word would be captured with top-notch quality because the message he wants to convey is far greater than any special effects. His videos could have titles like The Sermon on the Mount Explained Simply, What Do You Need to Inherit the Kingdom of Heaven? And, as he always did, he would use stories and parables to teach great lessons. Imagine a video titled The Parable of the Prodigal Son like you've never heard before, or The Good Samaritan. What does it mean for you today? And Jesus' channel wouldn't be just informative, but also inspirational. Unlike many influencers who only seek superficial entertainment, each video would carry a message capable of changing lives. People would comment on how his teachings touched their hearts, how they felt transformed after hearing his words. And like any content creator who truly wants to engage with their audience, Jesus would receive thousands of questions and doubts in the comments. For example, what happens after death? When is the rapture? If God exists, why does evil exist? What is the purpose of life? And he would undoubtedly respond with the same wisdom he left recorded 2,000 years ago. And of course, if he wanted to reach an even bigger audience, he would probably create a series of short videos. Imagine a 10-second YouTube Shorts where he simply says, "Love your neighbor as yourself," followed by a powerful cut with inspiring images. Millions of people would share this video across their social media. The big question is, Would people on YouTube be ready to hear his message? Or, just like in the past, would many reject his words because they challenge the way we live? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And now, one of the most intriguing questions. And what about miracles? Would they be recorded? Would Jesus live stream himself healing the sick, casting out demons, and even resurrecting people? Or would he simply say, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed"? Imagine the scene. A notification pops up on your phone. Jesus is live now. You click, and the live stream already has millions of viewers watching simultaneously. The chat is on fire. "Jesus, heal my mother. Multiply my salary. Make my ex come back." The camera focuses on a crowd gathered around him, just like in biblical times. Suddenly, a paralyzed person is brought before him. The suspense in the broadcast is intense. Jesus looks at the camera and says, "Rise and walk." A moment of silence, and then the person stands up. The chat explodes. Viewers can't believe what they just saw. Was it real? Was it staged? Skeptics flood the comments. "This is fake. It's CGI. Let's see him do it again." Meanwhile, others simply type, "Glory to God." But would Jesus really do this kind of live stream? Or would he stick to his original approach, healing without the need for spectacle, without seeking the spotlight, not going viral for numbers, but for the real impact on each life? Because, think about it, if he wanted instant fame, he could have had it 2,000 years ago. But he always rejected requests to prove his power just for the sake of proving it. When tempted in the wilderness, he refused to perform miracles to exalt himself. When he was on the cross, he was challenged to come down to prove he was the Son of God, yet he remained firm. So why would he start doing it now? Just to get views? Maybe instead of live streaming miracles, he would post a video titled, "The Greatest Miracle You Can Experience Today." And in that video, he wouldn't talk about physical healings or supernatural spectacles, but about internal transformation. The true miracle is not seeing to believe, but believing to see. In the end, Jesus' greatest impact on YouTube wouldn't come from live healings, but from the real change his words would bring to those who watched. But what about you? If you could ask Jesus for one miracle live, what would it be? Now, let's talk about the global reaction. Now, a serious question. How would people react to Jesus' channel? Would he have haters? Would he get canceled? Or would he become the biggest celebrity on the internet? On one hand, millions of people would subscribe to his channel, share his videos, and comment things like, "Finally, Jesus is back. This changed my life." But at the same time, there would be those trying to discredit him. It would only take one viral video for debates to erupt across the internet. YouTube bans Jesus' channel for religious speech. Religious groups claim the Antichrist has arrived and has a YouTube channel. Political leaders criticize Jesus' videos. Influencers debate live-streamed miracles. #NumberJesusFake trends after viral video. Looking at history, we see that Jesus was always a controversial figure. He attracted crowds, but he also faced fierce opposition. His teachings challenged political and religious leaders of his time. And today, in a world where every word can be misinterpreted, where anyone can be canceled, it would be no different. Imagine a video where he talks about forgiveness and loving your neighbor being criticized as a message of weakness, or a video about generosity being labeled as communist indoctrination. Some would say he's outdated, while others would accuse him of distorting the true faith. Every new video would spark controversies, debates, and conspiracy theories. Major YouTube channels would react to his content. Podcasts would analyze his words, and critics would try to expose him at all costs. And of course, some would feel threatened. Powerful leaders would realize that his message empowers people, that he teaches them that true strength comes from within, that they don't need to fear those who rule the world. That would make a lot of people uncomfortable. But would Jesus care? Probably not. He never sought approval from the majority. He never feared upsetting those who were uncomfortable with the truth. And on YouTube, whether he had millions of followers or just a handful of faithful ones, he would keep doing exactly what he has always done, speaking the truth without fear of the consequences. Now, an interesting question arises. If Jesus had a YouTube channel, what language would he speak? Hebrew, Aramaic, the language he spoke daily? Greek, which was widely used in the Roman Empire? Or would he speak directly in English, Spanish, or even Mandarin to reach the largest number of people possible? Looking at history, Jesus primarily spoke Aramaic, the common language of the Jewish people at the time. However, he would also have known Hebrew, since the scriptures were read in that language in synagogues. Additionally, he likely understood Greek, which was the international language of the Roman Empire, so even in his time, he was already, in a way, a multilingual communicator. But what about today? Well, if Jesus wanted to reach the entire world, he would probably choose a global language. English, since it's the most widely spoken language on the internet. Spanish, one of the languages with the highest number of native speakers. Or maybe he would surprise everyone and speak all languages simultaneously, so that each person could understand his message in their own unique way. Or perhaps he would simply appear on YouTube speaking as he always did, letting modern technology handle the automatic subtitles. After all, his message has always been more important than the language in which it was spoken. The essence is not in the sound of the words, but in the impact they have on the hearts of those who hear them. What can we learn from this? So, if Jesus had a YouTube channel, he would teach eternal lessons in a modern way. His videos wouldn't be about himself, but about how we can become better people. And come to think of it, he already left us a channel, not on YouTube, but in the Bible. The difference is that today, it's up to us to hit the subscribe button on his teachings and truly follow the content he left for us. Ready to unlock the wisdom and wealth principles of King Solomon? Join our 31-day Wisdom and Wealth Challenge and transform your mindset in just 1 month. This practical 31-day plan will help you build a prosperous and wise mindset, following the principles of King Solomon, the wisest and richest man in history. The link is in the description of this video. Do you know someone who refuses to believe in Christianity? Discover proven logical strategies to guide them toward the truth. Get our exclusive guide, God is Not an Illusion, the Foolproof Guide to Converting an Atheist. In this guide, you'll learn how to break down skepticism and present undeniable evidence of God's existence in a natural and convincing way. Both links are in the description of this video. Now, it's your turn to make a difference. If this reflection made you think, imagine how many other people could benefit from this content too. That's why don't forget to leave a like. This helps YouTube spread this video to more people. And if you want to see more content like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next videos. Here, we always bring Bible-based reflections connected to today's world. So if you want to continue this journey of learning and discovery, you already know what to do. Now, tell us in the comments, if Jesus had a YouTube channel, what video do you think he would post first? We'll be reading and engaging with the best responses.